All right, so we're back in my life. We got to work out the kinks. Hey, what up, Kevin? How you doing? Schweigert. What's up, bro? Now
Yeah,
let me
let's
see if I get
work.
shark
I don't know.
kicks.
Let's see what happens.
Let me see here.
Yeah, I was hitting requests. It wouldn't let him go.
It said that I could see. Yo, what up?
There you go.
Boom. I don't know why that did that.
It's working now.
You see it now? I can see I can see Sharky now.
I mean, I can't see you, but I know that it says connecting.
Oh
There it
yeah,
is.
we're all in.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Here's what
I'm
I
gonna
think
I'm gonna
happened. You know
I'm
what I
gonna
think
say
happened, right?
I'm gonna say what probably happened.
I know what it is.
It's the amount of followers.
It's the amount. I fucking know it. Yes. This is
Yeah.
like a unlockable video game thing. You need 10,000 coins to play. I do not have
That's what
10,000
it is.
coins.
I didn't want to say it on the other live because I was.
Bro,
That's
be
what it is.
real with the people. I
Yeah.
don't have the points.
Well, we're gonna get you the points after tonight. So everybody that follows me and everybody that's in this live, you gotta go to. How do you say it? Before the wrath comes.
Before the wrath comes, kids.
Go follow because I'm not gonna be doing this live from my page. I'm gonna be doing it live from her page. So you gotta go to her page, follow her, so that way she does. We don't have this bullshit again. What up,
No.
Mike Swagger?
What's happening?
I missed you.
I know. I miss you guys too.
Yeah, it's good. So you look great.
I wouldn't go that far, but hey, thanks.
You're pretty handsome. You're pretty
Shark,
handsome.
yes, Shark Man.
What's going on, guys?
Awesome. We are so happy to have you. I mean, we have
Thanks
just
for
look at how the internet works. I mean, we just jumped around and we got this shit right back on track. Bada bing, bada boom. So we did introductions real quick. We told everybody a little bit about ourselves, but we want to give you an opportunity to tell the people and introduce yourself to them for the people who may not know how fucking awesome you are.
Bro, just say you're the king of New Jersey. Just say.
No, I'm not saying it.
I
You
am
do.
Mike Swagger.
Don't just say that.
Just say it.
I'm the king of New Jersey. I'm done. Let's go.
Yes.
All right.
Turn the feet off.
It's
The
true.
beat is done.
It's fucking true.
So, look, basically, you want to know like when I started tattooing and stuff like that.
Sure.
Yeah, you can start there. We're going to dig in deeper. Start wherever you want.
Right. Well, I started tattooing in the late 1988 in Savannah, Georgia. And then moved back up here to New Jersey in '89, and then set up shop in like '91 and been tattooing professionally since then.
Did you ever did you tattoo really professionally in Georgia, or that was more just where you learned?
What was that? You break it up for a second there.
I said, did you tattoo professionally in Georgia, or that's more where you just
I
learned?
apprenticed there, and I did some tattooing, but I wasn't getting paid for it really, like apprenticeship stuff, you know.
Right.
I would go down there
Toilet
and
stuff.
periodically after that, but that's it, you know.
So we got some. Oh, go ahead, Rich.
So you went there, then you went up, and now in New Jersey. Let's get into the New Jersey tattoo history because I take it this show is going to be a lot about tattoo history. So
Cool.
when did you get when did you get linked up with like Ernie and stuff like that? I like to hear about stories about Ernie and
Well, I met Ernie. Basically, I had a shop in Point Pleasant in the early '90s, and basically Ernie opened up down the street, so we kind of became like not so friendly competitors at first, and then you know, he sent spies in the shop and like, you know, shit like that. And then over the years, we just started like, you know, he almost started to throw like almost like little false information, like little stuff like that. He just try to test you, you know. And I think he liked to see if you had the guts to kind of like tell him he was wrong or he was lying, or if you saw that something was true, that he picked up on it, you know. And then we became friends more like later '90s, you know.
right. But is that who's your biggest influence from New Jersey?
My biggest influence from New Jersey. I mean, I think my biggest influence, well, early on, it would be Lenny Weber, and I mean, he still rings out. But I think Say Already is probably my biggest influence in New Jersey. Besides my partners, the guys I work with,
The best.
like
The
Tom,
best job there
Tom
is.
and Robert, have huge influences on me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like Robert has been quoted saying, like, you are the reason that he tattoos. And I think a lot of people feel that way about you. How does that make you feel? Like, are you like, yeah, fuck, of course? Or
Well,
are
I mean,
you just very modest about it?
well, for one, with Robert, like him and I are like childhood friends, and like he was like my shop guy, my first shop, my first shop, and then like it's just we try to get him to learn how to tattoo a lot earlier than that, and he just wasn't ready. I mean, yeah, like Tom and I are the ones who taught him, so I think that's a true story.
Yeah.
Did Gene and Ernie have beef? Not really, no.
Gene Bernardo, they're talking about that.
Yeah,
Oh, they're already
they,
okay. Comment section, folks.
they
You're
didn't
already
always see eye to
there.
eye, but they never had beef.
Oh, and so what we got cut off in the beginning when we were giving the introductions was I was going to let you guys know that if you put all your stuff into the comments, all your questions, we're going to kind of like wrap it up and give 10 minutes at the end where we'll go through all of your questions. So if we like skip it because we're talking, it's not because we're ignoring you. We're going to get back to it.
Yeah, we'll go back and read all the questions.
Yeah, we'll go back over that at the end. So Mike, one question that we're probably going to ask everybody is, what does traditional tattooing mean to you? And I don't mean like, how does it make you feel? Like when you say, oh, that guy, that girl, that person is a traditional tattooer, what does that mean? Are you talking about style? Are you talking about ethic? Or what does it mean?
I think it all goes hand in hand. I mean, ethics play a big part of it, I think. Unfortunately, I think that's kind of slipping a little bit because as the generations kind of, let's turn the volume down, we're getting some background noise.
Yeah.
I think we're seeing as the generations get younger, like they're not taught the same. Like, when I was like learning, I mean, the shop I learned in, for example, was the only shop pretty much in like 100 miles. So you didn't associate with other tattoo shops. And then you didn't have friends who worked in other tattoo shops.
All that shit's new.
Yeah.
So it's new, but yeah, not having beef with everybody.
I'm sorry, you froze up for a second.
Yeah. I said that's new, but I like that better. I like that part about the new vibe better.
Oh, I do like that about the new.
It's
weird in a sense. Like I see certain things in my mind, I'm still like, the guy who taught me was a very like paranoid and like kind of territorial person. And I was never that way. And I'm still trying not to be that way. But in the same way, I have it. It's like in the back of my mind, and I'll see like friends that are like, how are you hanging out with every tattoo artist in the world right now? But I think it's awesome because it's like, I'm people who would necessarily back then would be my arch nemesis or friends. And we share ideas with. And I think that's good. But I think as far as like the art goes, making a tattoo that is bold, readable, has good contrast, you can see it from across the room. I think that has a lot to do with old school tattooing or traditional tattooing.
Yeah, me and Sharky were
I
on
agree.
tonight for a good amount of time, and we were saying like, there's differences between like being classic tattoo or traditional tattoo, or like, do you think that you can make any tattoo traditional?
Any design, if you do it properly, yes.
That's what me and Sharky were talking.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like if you had, let's just say if somebody brings in and they want, I don't know, I'm looking around the room, they wanted a can of Budweiser as a traditional tattoo. Like you could make that into a traditional tattoo, whereas some people are on the real purist dude or woman is on the thought that you can't.
There's no Budweiser in the Kaplan Bacall book. That's not real. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You could have a wizard, a cat, or a boat.
Yeah.
I mean,
Which
Cap
one?
Coleman was not drawing pocket watches, or owls, but you can still make it in a traditional fashion.
But
I mean,
that's
you
the
really
thing.
get right
That's,
down to it. In fact, if I have to pick up a pencil to draw something, it really technically isn't a classic or traditional tattoo. You know?
see, but then I don't see. I've been accused of not being a traditional tattooer. I've been accused of being a classic tattooer. You know what I mean? So
What does that fucking mean? What does that fucking
because
mean?
I just work with the classics. I don't really draw all that much anymore. I mean, I will draw it from on occasion, but I'm pretty much just doing old flesh at this point in my life. So
That's
I guess
traditional.
can
That's
be
just
like,
traditional.
yeah, I think so. I think I always consider myself a traditional tattooer, but I've been, oh, no, you're really not traditional. You're classic. What does that mean? Like,
That is made up. That's something imaginary.
yeah.
That's not real. So I got a non-tattooer question for you, Mike.
Okay.
Wildwood or Seaside Heights?
Neither.
Oh my God.
I
mean, I grew up in Point Pleasant, so
Oh my God.
I grew up in that town, and I grew up on the beach. You know, I didn't have to go anywhere like that.
So you didn't even bother?
No, I mean, I've been to Seaside, I've been to Wildwood.
Which is the Guido?
Honestly, I don't like either one of them.
Seaside Heights is the Guido one, Rich.
Yeah, I probably vibe with the Guido one. I used to go to Belmar.
Belmar's more up.
Belmar was cool.
You guys are fancy. Holy shit. Belmar. So I guess a question, because you've been tattooing there so long.
Which do you prefer?
Wildwood, bro.
Yeah.
Wildwood's
I had to pick. I would say Wildwood. It's got more aesthetics.
Yeah.
You know, all the hotels and shit are like, they look almost like Vegas style, you know?
Yes, you got all that. You got the roller coasters, skee ball, fascination.
Did you ever go to the aquarium? The quote unquote
This is
aquarium?
getting real.
I was like, it's not really an aquarium. There's more fish painted on the outside wall than what's inside of that.
It was
thing.
it was like a crazy pet store. It was totally carny, very carny.
Yeah, you might as well just go walk to the ocean. That's the real aquarium. How could you have a fucking aquarium next to the ocean, by the way? It's so fucked up. Oh my God,
This is getting real New Jersey real fast.
Bless New Jersey.
I like New Jersey. I fuck with New Jersey. I like New Jersey.
I like
born there. I can't say anything against it, bro. Can't.
Schweigert, I didn't know you lived at Inner City.
Oh yeah, I mean, and this was John Farrig in like his prime, like his craziest version of him. So the fact that I just showed up, it was like, that's great. Like, fucking get in there and do it. And then, that was like the hardest year of my life. But I'm a great tattooer because of it.
I could be remembering it wrong, but I think I worked Inner City the first day it was open.
Oh my God. What? I want to hear about that day.
I mean, that day it was dismally slow, but it was me and Ron and somebody else. John might have been working the calendar maybe then.
That sounds right.
I think Chris might have came in and out from Ron's.
Yeah.
But no, Dave did too. But it was like, I think I tattooed one or two people that day, and that was it. One of them was a friend.
Were you frightened since that place is a second floor walk up? Is this when it was on the walk up on the second floor?
Yeah.
With no windows, no like fire exit?
I was just like to be, working with Ron. Because that was like the first time I worked with Ron. Because I'd done a few days filling in for Ron at Ron's with Kevin. But I think
you grew up with Kevin, right?
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. He was like in the hardcore.
Man, you had like all these crushers that you all.
You took the words out of my mouth. I'm like, you grew up with Kevin Craig and Robert Bryan. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, you guys are stuck talking to me.
No, this is beautiful.
But let's talk about Ron Lopez a little bit. I don't know that dude well, but I respect the shit out of his tattoos. How much did he help you along the way?
Who's that?
Ron Lopez.
Ron? Okay. Sorry, you keep it kept freezing when you're talking, and I'm not.
Oh, my bad.
To pick it up. Ron. I mean, Ron was one of those people. Like when I was first being on the shore, was somebody who would come down to Point Pleasant. So I'd always see like Tony P tattoos, Pete G. Quinto tattoos. Not a lot of Pete's, but some. A lot of Richie Montgomery tattoos and a lot of Ron Lopez tattoos, because all the people from Staten Island. And they're always rock solid, And I think because Tom Yak was getting tattooed by Ron early on, and Kevin was working for and getting tattooed by Ron, that a lot of that stuff I got it second and third generation from those guys. So
Right.
Ron was as far as boldness and color usage, I think I tried to pick up some stuff from Ron.
Yeah, and he had a cool thing where he did a lot of that, the color gray. I always thought that about his stuff.
Mm-hmm. When I was working there, when I was working a little, because I would try to go there and work part time. I'm trying to think what year it was. 2001, 2002, somewhere around there. I would either work at Ron and Dave's here and there, or at Ron's. But sometimes you go to Ron and Dave's, and people just neighborhood people they got tattooed by Ron on his front porch in 73. Yeah. But like I said, early 2000s, and the yellow was still rock solid. Everything was really on the money.
Speaking of yellow, are you only using your own pigments that you're mixing, or are you using?
I've been I've used some stuff in mixing, but I'm using some chroma pigments,
okay,
and raw power pigments. That's pretty.
Yeah, I fuck with the chroma. I've been using a lot of the chroma stuff lately. They're good. It seems like a nice dude.
Yeah, they're great guys.
Yeah, and it's so interesting hearing you talk about that lineage, or just that come down of tattooers, because you can see, Rich and I were talking about this yesterday, you can see your hands or their hand in your hand. Just those tattoos, they all kind of look the same. They have the same kind of vibe to it, which is interesting because that's kind of getting lost in tattooing now, because we're all looking at each other. I'm looking at tattooers from fucking Japan and all this crazy shit. So that's kind of getting lost. So I feel like that's a rarity to see a direct lineage of people who are, hello, cat.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm easily distracted. But it's interesting to see that handed down from person to person. I think that's really special.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I said about Instagram during my first bunch of lives. It's Instagram has been really good for tattooing, I think, in a lot of ways. But one thing it has definitely killed is the regional style.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? You used to be able to see a tattoo and be like, all right, that's New Jersey. All right, that's Texas. That's this, that's that. But now it's just you scroll through a feed, you don't know where a person's from just from the way they tattoo.
True.
You don't see, a couple people, I guess, that really, really rocking a specific, regional style. You figure, all right, that dude's definitely from Brooklyn or something. But for the most part, it seems like there's a lot of cross-contamination as far as style-wise is concerned, which is good. It just killed a certain vibe.
Yeah, absolutely. It's everything, anything that's really big doesn't have the same impact. Palm-sized tattoos and a little bit bigger stand out on Instagram, but beyond that, they don't really read that great because it's that big, Yeah,
the full sleeve and everything on Instagram doesn't read well at all. You know what I mean? For some reason,
impossible.
Yeah, you do a lot of work like that. You do a lot of big work, Sharpie.
I feel like such a shitty person because I'll put this person through hell on their last session, and then I'm like, okay, we're gonna do a 45-minute photo shoot. So when you get, and they're doing all this shit, and they're sweating, just hot. I feel so bad. Instagram has just killed the client relationship because it's impossible to take that photo and then put it in a tiny box. You don't know what that looks like. It sucks.
Yeah, I say it all the time to the young cats that work in my shop. I easily tattooed for 10 years straight, and I never had a camera. I didn't have a cell phone. I never took a picture or anything. I didn't. I would have a little disposable camera, and sometimes I'd snap a picture. But I didn't even think about it. And then a couple of years ago, I felt myself getting caught up in, and I'll be, I'm a dude that'll admit my faults. I found myself getting caught up in trying to do things because I was worried about an Instagram picture. And then quarantine definitely flipped the script for me for a lot of shit. And I was just I just want to give these people a good tattoo. I'd rather use a yellow that's powder that's not going to jump off the fucking skin fresh that's going to look fucking dope 10 years from now, then, you know, to me, that's, you know, you're doing the customer a disservice if you're more worried about your Instagram picture, which I think a lot of people are right now, which I get. You know what I mean? That's how we promote ourselves, but it's definitely whack.
And you and I think we've talked about this before, how like I cannot get a good photo at all. And my tattoos always look really angry when they're done. But you know, like a week, you know, when they come back healed, that's when I want to see what they look like. And then 6 months down the line, 6 months to me or a year, that's really where I think, you know.
I mean, because of the way, I mean, listen, I got tattooed by Shark. Yeah, I saw that 17 volts on her machine. Like I know the vibes.
Oh,
like
yeah.
you know, like these tattoos, when you're trained in the way that we're all trained, are going to be more angry.
You're talking about 17 volts. You tattoo off a boat battery, man. You're just as angry.
Yo,
wait a second.
They need 2 boat batteries. You're not doing it right.
Yeah,
you need 2 volt batteries. Get 24 volts. I'm not even gonna lie. For the past 3 weeks, I've been using one of those dildo machines with the fucking.
Oh.
I was using that shit. That shit is amazing.
The great reveal.
What?
You still using that thing?
Yeah, the thing is fucking. The thing is the shit. You know what I mean?
The cartridges. I haven't gotten that far.
The cartridges are dope because the cartridges don't spit.
Yeah.
I mean, listen. You know, I'm always one of those tattooers that tries this, tries that, tries this, and then goes back to exactly what I used to do. So, you know, this is just a phase right now, I'm sure, but there is something to be said about those cartridges that, you know, they don't spit at all.
Yeah. See, to me, it's like I have a drawer full of metal tubes and I stockpiled on needles, you know, like the beginning of last year. Actually, when I started hearing people were having a hard time getting stuff from China, you know, like before even the COVID came here, I just bought up a shit ton of needles that I like. So I have boxes and boxes. So to go out now, right now I've been messing with cartridges. Now I ran out of the grips. You know what I mean? Because I'm using disposable grips. So it's just like, and I'm back to my metal, my steel stuff and my Scott Sterling machines. You know?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We fall back on what we know. Shark, what are you using? You're using.
You know, goddamn well, I will never.
Just straight coil.
I tattoo I'm too into it to use a rotary because they don't have enough give. So I feel like I cause too much trauma to the skin. So I have to use a coil machine and steel tubes. I can't do anything. I cannot do it. I do not possess the skill set to use a rotary yet. So.
You do. You just don't.
Yeah, well, maybe.
Because I felt the same way. I was like, I can't use this. I can't cartridges. It seems so foreign, but
yeah,
after, you know, you
like,
have to get used to it.
If I can't tinker with it, I feel like I can't fuck with it. You know, like
that's my big thing with it. I like to work on machines, and I can't work on a rotary, and I definitely can't work on one of those pen types. But
no.
Yo,
I guess you're not supposed to.
Yeah. I'm not even gonna lie because I'm a truth teller. Like when somebody's like, you know, like where you're tattooing, it's like somebody's always gonna try to take a picture of you, like, you know, like, oh, get a tattoo, bro. You know, like I see them going, like I'm holding that fucking weird dildo machine. I'm just like, oh my god, you know, you ain't taking my picture with this weird.
You just stab them. You just have to kill them. It's like you take a picture.
Don't post that shit. Nah, I don't give a fuck. I really give no shits.
Yeah, like I think it was 2 weeks ago. I was tattooing somebody, and they're talking bad about the new style of tattoo machines. And I started, and I guess my machine wasn't screaming at him like it normally is. And he's like, looks down. He's like, "Oh, you're using one of those machines right now?" And I was like, "Yeah, sorry." Like, you let him down.
My bad, bro.
But I mean,
listen.
You know, running.
I hate to bring his name. Go ahead.
No, I was saying like running machines that like Tony P set up, or like other people we know who set up like these heavy hitters, like 18 volts. You know, no give. That's kind of what a rotary does. You know, it's kind of a very similar thing. Like, you know, and that's what kind of like makes me think about trying it. And then I could have what maybe really originally start buying this stuff was I started getting some of it when I was going to do some. I wanted to travel last year, and I was like, I could bring a D20, 10 to 15 disposable tubes, and then just the little things with it. They're like this big, the little cartridges. I could throw it on in a backpack, and it'd be that so
True.
simple. That there's like the convenience of it all.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's the convenience. The convenience of not having to buy multiple tubes also is good with the cartridges, But I mean, I was very much a purist for most of a good portion of the time I tattooed, until quite a few years ago I started hanging out with Tony P all the time, and that dude changed my whole game and changed my. I mean, both of us, everybody here in this group has had long conversations with Tony. That dude changed the way I thought about things. I was so much a purist, and then all of a sudden, I'm talking to this dude who's just like a straight businessman hustler, and he was like, "What the fuck do you care for? What's the, what is it? What I mean?" And it's like, it really put it into perspective. Like everything's a tool in the toolbox. We're the tattooer.
Yeah.
I mean? No matter what we're using. It really comes from us. The power comes from us. The vibes come from us. So it really doesn't matter. As much as I'm embarrassed to, use that machine and get my picture taken, I really ain't. I'm kind of fronting like I am, but I really ain't. Like, whatever it can make our magic happen, it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
That kind of brings me to the next question I wanted to ask you, Mike, about tattoo magic and tattoo juju. Two-part question. What was the one tattoo experience that you had, meaning getting tattooed by someone else, where you had that moment where you just kind of feel outside of your body and you're just taking in all this information from this person, and you go to work the next day and you're tattooing different?
I have multiples. I think obviously the most impactful one was my first tattoo, because my first tattoo was, did you ever think about doing tattoos? And if so, and then later in the conversation, we'll bring some drawings back here. That's where I basically started learning. So that was like first time in a tattoo shop, first time getting one, and then being like, the opportunity arose at the same time. So that was, of course, but I was never so naive to everything that I wasn't getting like information or what have you. And then I think it was probably 2 years later, I was getting tattooed by Lenny Weber, getting some filler on my arm. Lenny was he had a shop called East Coast Tattoo in Brick, New Jersey. To me, he was like the best tattooer in New Jersey. He was the king of New Jersey. And it was like the shop was closed, we're the end of the night, and he was just like, pulls out tattoo time, like starts talking about different people as I'm getting tattooed, like talk about Don Nolan and Dana Brunson. I knew of Nolan because of his flash and stuff like that, but I didn't know who Dana was, and he had to go and they pulled out these tattoo times, like that being the first time seeing that, just being like, and just basically like opening up, like, oh, there's Greg Irons, there's this, like just so many people, just so, and he was also one of those people who, like I said, prior to that, it was like, I was under the impression when I was down in Georgia, there was no other tattoo shops. If anybody was trying to tattoo, he would run them out of town. I came back up here. The guy, Gene Bernardo, who I worked for, he was very territorial like that. And then everybody was like, Tony the Pirate, but Tony was not really like that. And then Lenny, when I met Lenny, everybody told me he was going to like kick my ass, beat me up for freaking tattooing. And he was just like the complete opposite, like open door, like information overload, really. And then probably the next time after that would probably when I got tattooed by Ed Hardy for the first time. Because it's like just the whole, that's magic right there.
Right.
I mean, there's so many times. I mean, it could just be, the first time I got tattooed by Tom Yak, when he was tattooing me in my kitchen before we all started working together, like you just keep going, that to me, like there's definitely moments when it's always there, but maybe it's not active, and there's other times when it's just the whole place is magic. Everything around you is magic, R&D.
Yeah. So the second part of the question is, your shop is kind of known as like a tattoo magic shop. You know, people who
100%.
visit that shop tend to
Well,
have the same response. Like when they go there, they're like, that was a fucking tattoo shop. Like,
100%. 100%.
so, you know, is that intentional? Are you just like, all right, we're going to hang this here, do that? Like, is it set up very intentionally, or are you just like being you and people are just kind of vibing off that?
well, it's not. I don't think it's intentional. I mean, I think for one, just that being said is a massive compliment, and it's
a fact.
It's us.
Fact.
It's not
Yeah,
me.
I hear it's in
Definitely
the
me,
encyclopedia, sir.
but it's not me. It's us. You know, it's the shop as a whole. But I will say, like, over the years, I've learned to be, and this is something I kind of learned from Sailor Eddie, to be honest with you. Like, you host. You know, if somebody comes to your shop,
Yes.
especially if they're in the business, you give them, you know, you give them the tour. You open the door, like, hey, come on and come in the back. You know what I mean? Like, and just be friendly and open. You know, I mean, I got that when I went to Tattoo City in San Francisco. You know, when you go, that's just what I would want if I went to another tattoo shop. Because I mean, I've gone to other shops that it was the complete opposite, where I was so excited to go to it, and I was like, wow, it's so cold here. You know, I had good tattoos, good experience, but as a whole, it was like, wow, I just got freaking totally like ghosted here. You know, and I didn't want that to happen. You know.
Yeah, you gotta definitely gotta play host. You definitely gotta, you know, put on the show. You know what I mean? Especially as another tattoo coming.
Yeah, absolutely. The vaudeville act has to go on. You know what I mean? Like, if that's not happening in the shop, you know, like you said, Mike, you end up with this cold vibe where you walk in and it feels like you're in a fucking museum and the music's weird and no one's talking to anybody. And it's like,
I mean, don't get me wrong, it's like that at Electric too. We're listening to weird music. But I mean, honestly, when it's a lot of times when it gets really quiet in the shop, it's because we're all in the zone.
right.
You know, like
I have the musical taste of an old gay man. So we have Shaka Khan and everything.
Are you still playing off that fucking CD player, or have you guys
No,
moved to
I
Spotify?
got the Spotify.
Okay.
It's either like Nas or fucking Shaka Khan or something.
I mean, those are the hits. Who doesn't like fucking Shaka Khan? Come on. What's the musical? What's the vibe over at Electric? What is the go-to? This is the repeatable album over there.
oh man, our shop music is schizophrenic.
Well, they all are, but there's always like those three hits, like those three albums that it's just like, yes, we're listening to this again for the 6th time this week.
A lot of Lungfish, Sleep.
Oh, of course, you didn't even say that. Yeah.
Lately, you know, a good amount of death metal. A lot of dub reggae.
Yeah.
A lot of dub reggae. A lot of like early 90s.
Evan's up in the feed saying this is an unanswerable question about election.
A lot of times,
No, not unanswerable.
It's we're actually like, because we just recently switched over to Spotify with the Sonos speakers, and you know, you put on an album and then it ends, and all of a sudden it just goes haywire.
Yeah,
you know, everybody's like too busy to change it or put another album on, and it's just kind of like, what are we listening to right now? You know?
Yo, you got to get the Bluetooth. That's what we did at the shop. You got to get the Bluetooth and have it on somebody's phone, so when that shit starts to happen and the algorithm starts making the decisions.
Agree to a point. I agree with the point, but that's whack. Because then if I want to go smoke a cigarette and my phone is the fucking aux, then I gotta fucking not bring my phone to go smoke a cigarette. It's a little funny.
So yeah,
it's a little funny.
This doesn't work.
But I'm gonna say this, and this is a true fact. This is a fact 1,000%. Is that vibe that you're talking about, Sharky? Like when you get tattooed or when you tattoo somewhere that makes you like go home. Like every time, I used to have the pleasure of working at Electric a lot. Every time I come home, driving home from Electric, when I'm coming back to Queens the next day, completely inspired to tattoo. Every fucking time. I walk around and look at the flash like that. That is the most magical tattoo shop I've ever been to. 100%, no question about it.
I get the exact same feeling when I'm driving home from your shop at 3 a.m. You know?
Yeah, Rich, you got the fucking magic in there in a very special way.
I'm right now in because we have the second part of the shop. So now I'm in like I have like an archive I'm built in. It's not done yet, but like we're gonna have a whole library. This is all classic flash behind. This is a Coleman that Mike Schweigert gifted me.
I was going to ask what that very dark thing there was. It's hard to see it.
That's a Coleman, and that's a DeVita that I got from Robert.
That's awesome.
I was going to ask what that one was.
Yeah, DeVita, and then Dave's behind me, and then Peachy Quinto's first sheet of flash he ever painted is this one right here.
Nice.
Damn, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So there's the magic.
You got all the goods, bro. You got all the goods.
Oh my. Goodies, goodies. All right, next question. I think we've kind of entered into a realm of tattooing where there are just tattooers, tattooers are born every day and they don't particularly seem to care about, for whatever reason, there's a lot, some are valid, some are not, but they don't seem to care about the past. Anything that happened before yesterday doesn't fucking matter. Is there any advice that you would give to that kind of tattooer to help them to understand that this part of tattooing, even if you don't want to do anything like it, is incredibly valuable to have in your back pocket?
I mean, I think a lot of times people who are coming into it that don't have a taste for the history gain it. Like it's something like, I mean, I've even had it where I have customers in my shop that we're talking about tattooers, but they're getting like biomechanical stuff, or they're getting like black and gray monsters and shit, and they're staring at a piece of old flash, and then all of a sudden they're just like, man, this stuff's growing on me. And I think that if that's happened to the layman, it's definitely going to happen to somebody within the business and the craft.
Happens to me.
Yeah, I mean, there's been times where, like when I was younger, where I'm not gonna say I didn't have interest in the history, but I think that I didn't crave it like I do. I always get like, I'm always hunting for a little bit of information or some stupid theory to kind of go down a wormhole as to why this is that and that's that. But I mean, I think you learn from the past, like just like we're talking about like needles and groupings and stuff like that. What you see in these old blurry tattoos now, done with say, like for example, like using like a 5 or a 7 liner, and compare what they're going to look like as they age, or what certain colors are going to look like when they age, or open skin next to a tattoo that's wall to wall. Like what's going to be, how's that going to work, and I think you need that. Even looking at old flash, like I think. Like, for example, like when we did that, Gordon and I did that Coleman book, like I knew people who would buy it and they would immediately take the design and completely redraw it, tattoo it, and then show me a picture and ask me what I thought. And sometimes I just like, what I think you should have done was do it just like it was. Then you'll learn something from that and then draw it again. 'Cause I remember like the first time I ever did, like in that stuff, there's like a big clipper ship. And I remember the first time I did it, I noticed that one line would drop and pick up another one. And it was like just drawn in such a way that it was an efficient yet artistic design. And if I had redrawn it, I would not have figured that out. The flow, it was just like that tattoo was made to be put on in an hour and a half and look good.
Because these dudes made the mistakes already. You know what I mean? Like, I've had a situation where, pretty recently where somebody redrew something and took something out of something, and I was like, well, what'd you take that out for? And they're like, it didn't seem like I needed it. I was like, yeah, but the reason why it's there is because this line is crazy, and you got to pull that line all in one thing. The reason why this is there is because it's breaking it up. So this dude fucked that line up 10 different times before he realized, you know what? Every time I do this tattoo, I fuck this line up. Let me put this in. Because it's a weird angle. So let me put this other part where it's just cutting off the line. It's like when you do like when they want one of these clocks with roses and stuff. You know you're going to put like a little bit of the rose over the clock so you don't got to do a fucking perfect circle.
Nobody wants to do a big ass circle. Nobody wants to do that.
Yeah. So, you know, but you tried to do the circle originally, and you're like, oh, fuck, these are the three circles that we got to do right on top of each other. So let me put this part of the fucking rose in front of it so that I'm just doing 3 semicircles now. You know what I mean? So these old tattooers fucked up already. You know what I mean? They already fucked up, so they know why this needs to be here. So when you take something and completely redraw it, and I'm guilty of redrawing stuff too. I mean, I do it, but I do the whole trace and replace thing. But there is something to be said about, like you said, like going straight from the source and like letting, like Coleman definitely did this tattoo 500 times, and he definitely, you know, the first 200 times he realized, you know, I'm going to put this in, and it makes the design better. It makes the design make sense. It makes, you know, you can go right from the eyeball of the eagle right into its beak. You know what I mean? So it's all smooth and fluid. You know what I mean? That's what that's the shit that, like, you're using his muscle memory. You're using those people's muscle memory because they figured it out, and then you're tracing it. So now those people's muscle memory is your muscle memory, and that's how you carry a fucking torch. That's how you carry on tradition.
Yeah, I mean, you nailed it. Both of you are nailing it. But yes, hearing you say that shit, Mike, it's like those are those subtle nuances about tattooing that you cannot express that to a client. They don't know what you're talking about when you're talking about a tattoo being tattooable. But that's it. And I think that's a lot of what newer tattoos kind of shit on traditional tattoos for, because this idea of copying something as it is to them seems lazy. But the reality is that it takes a very strong discipline to do that, to recreate something on a piece of paper to skin as is and make it look just as cool. It's fucking technically difficult. I mean, it requires your technical skill level to be off the roof, you know?
Yeah.
Because it has
and I
to
used to be like,
smooth.
Like you could used to judge tattooers that way, you know, not judge them, but like somebody would come in the shop and say they had a Greg Irons piece of flash on their arm. You could look at it and be like, oh man, that guy's good. Because you knew the design and you could see where the flair he put to it or how it technically aged. Like you could just look at something and be like, that guy he didn't know what he was doing. You know? And
those designs are hard. Greg Irons I won't touch a Greg Irons. I can't do all this fire and tits. I can't. That shit's really hard.
It is hard.
And the bottom line is also, you got to take into account, there's room for both. You know, there's room for everything. Like, you know, not to be like a fucking dumb neighborhood fucking jerk and compare everything to something else, but like, you take like a dude like Dr. J. Like Dr. J fucking dunked a basketball. Like he changed the fucking game when he dunked the basketball. That didn't mean that the 3-point shot was gone. Right. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't, just because people can progress the art and other people can lay back and say like, I'm glad you're progressing this, but me personally, I'm going to rock with this because this is, you know, that's fine. You know what I mean? There's room for all of it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like that said, like how many, we all have collectors that come through our shops. And I love it when you see somebody that I'm doing like a piece of like a Coleman flash on them or whatever I'm doing. And you look at their other arm and it's like, they got like this like beautiful black and gray work, like, you know, realism. And they got like some Japanese work. And it's like, they're just collecting different, there's different aspects of tattooing. And it's not, there's certain people that are very pigeonholed and there's certain people who just like it all. I mean, I do that myself. Like I think I kind of tattoo traditionally best, but you know, I look at tattoos like some days I'm just gonna start using tight threes and singles, and I'm gonna do all black and gray, and then I'm gonna do open skin. And then I'm like, oh man, Eric Kingsmith did everything wall to wall. I'm gonna do it like that. Like it just kind of like there's so many different styles and techniques that I like that I can't just narrow it to one. And I think that's a lot of people think of it that way, where it's like, if you're just this or you're just that. And that's another thing to go on a different tangent. But, you know, coming up, and I always felt, you know, it was being versatile was important. Like being able to do portraits, be able to do tribal, and be able to do Japanese. And now it doesn't seem like that's the way to do it.
Now that can hurt you a lot of times.
I know.
I know dudes that hurts. You know what I mean? That they're such a jack of all trades that they're like, well, what do you do? Like, you know, they want to know what the person's style is. Like, so that sometimes can hurt, you know, because we live in a specialty society now. Like, people like,
that's a good question to ask. Like, how do you feel about the fact that now as tattooers, you can't just be a tattooer. You have to be a fucking brand. Like, you can't just be a tattoo person. You got to be Mike Schweigert. I specialize in this, and it looks like this, like Coca-Cola. Like, it's the same color, the same scheme, the same commercial all the time. Otherwise, it's like no one even wants to get tattooed by you anymore.
well, I want to be Cadillac. If we're gonna
What the fuck? Okay,
we're gonna brand
you
ourselves.
can be Cadillac.
I don't want to be Coca-Cola. That shit's bad for you. I want to be Cadillac. Okay.
You can be Cadillac. I promise.
I mean, I personally don't care. You know what I mean? I kind
Oh,
of
right,
don't like.
yes.
I don't like the. I mean, I want to be busy. I want to tattoo people, but I want to give them what they want. You know, I might not express it on Instagram. You know, I might not put. I mean, sometimes I do a beautiful tattoo, but I look at the photograph. I'm like, I can't put this thing up here. It's terrible.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes I'll do. You know, like I think I did like a really nice tattoo the other day. I did like a hawk on a branch with some leaves. And I posted, like, you know, I think I did something a week that, you know, if you're going to go by likes and bullshit like that, but like something before it was like got 800 likes or something like that. And that bird, which I spent like a lot of time on it and really was into it, it's got like 200 likes, you know, but the thing was, I think it was a nice tattoo. The customer thinks it's a good tattoo. So I'm going to keep doing it like that.
Because they're looking for a certain thing from.
Yeah. It's like
and
convention style shit. You know, they don't know.
Like,
they're looking for a
cool,
certain
I like it, but it's not gonna run my business, you know.
Yeah, I completely separate like Instagram from actual business.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Instagram's not the real world. It is not even a direct correlation to what's really happening in tattooing at all.
Like, I do tons of black and gray tattoos. I don't post them because nobody cares when I do. You know what I mean? But I still do them. You know what I mean? I like them, and the people like them, so I don't give a fuck what Instagram thinks. But quarantine really changed my. I got caught up a little bit in Instagram. Quarantine really changed my whole shit with Instagram. I'm like, fuck this shit. I don't even. I mean, I like doing these lives and shit, but I don't really care if, like, I used to try to like kind of curate my fucking feed. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, you know what I mean? If I want to post a picture of me in sweatpants,
it's just watches. That's it.
Yeah, I'll post about, you know, fucking Shaka Khan.
You know, like a friend of ours told us that, like, you use Instagram in a sense like you kind of promote what you want to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's why I tend to put up more like the traditional stuff that I do, because that's what I thoroughly enjoy. I mean, I get into other things, but that's like when I sit down and do, like, I got to do like a real nice, a pretty decent sized gypsy girl head on a guy's chest today. And it was like, that was a blast. Felt really good to do it, you know? So that's
and
the
your
kind of tattoo I want to promote.
Are like a signature. Like, you can tell you did it.
100%.
And I mean, and for the people at home who don't know this, I live all the way in Texas now. I was partying at a club in Texas at night, drunk. And this dude pulled up, you know, the guy at the club, he's like, oh, this bitch has tattoos, so I'm gonna show her my tattoo, and then we'll be friends.
Yeah,
he pulled up his fucking sleeve,
on?
and I knew you had done the fucking tattoo. And I sent you the picture, and I was like, you did this tattoo on this fucking guy. Like, that's the person we're talking to right now. It was all the way down here.
Yeah. I need to know,
did
you have affliction tee on? Was it an affliction tee? That's what
I mean, now you're asking like police questions. I don't remember what he looked like or what he wore. But he
any
had
dude
a
in the club
tattoo
showing you the
samurai.
tattoo?
I remember that.
He's got the affliction t-shirt on.
I mean, he was.
If he was getting tattooed by me, he was
a Jersey guy. He was a Jersey man for sure.
Oh shit.
But it was just so big and so bold. It was just so fucking obvious. And I think that stuff is magical when you have that signature. You know, you're at that place where so many of us want to be, or we're aspiring to be. Because you got all the right. You're the tattooer's tattooer. You got the cool shop and everything.
I personally don't think I have it. I don't, you know what I mean? Like, Rich,
that's good. That's good.
You have it, but you don't necessarily realize it. I think that's something that, you know, like, I mean, I do consciously try to draw how I draw when it comes down to it. You know, if I'm doing if I'm doing a classic piece of Flash or something, I try to recreate it, but even then I probably fail. But I try to make it look as much as like I could like the original, you know what I mean? Because I'm still trying to like satisfy that. You know, people like, there's always that, oh, is there any designs you always want to do? And there's designs that I saw in 1988 that I'm still trying to do that I haven't. So I want to try to recreate what I saw that made me inspired by it. But also that kind of changes from day to day as to whose voice is in my head telling me, like, whether it's Sale Ready or whether it's, you know, Eric Inksmith or somebody like that. It's not their literal voice, but it's just like, I want to do it like what would he do if he was in this position? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, like whatever's inspiring me at that time, or what the customer wants to. I mean, it can't be like, oh, you want me to do a Coleman design and do it wall to wall and add the white where instead of open skin and stuff like that. You know, like I don't know, kind of rambling about nothing.
No. That's exactly what we want you to do here on Working Title on the Shoulders of Giants. You're doing the right thing.
I like In the Back Room.
Okay, no, it was Welcome to the Back Room.
Welcome to the Back Room is what I like.
Yeah, we may change it to that. This title exists somewhere else. We may change it. But I mean, I think it is a back room where this is what happens in the back room of the shop. This is what happens. Yeah. You open the brews, you have the cigarettes, you bullshit about the tattoo, the whippadoozle, the rush job, the beautiful ones.
Shit,
you know,
whippadoozies.
You know about the whippadoozle.
Don't let them know about that.
Chris Fritz taught me about that.
Don't let them know about the whippadoozle. That's secret. That's top secret.
This is the back room. I didn't define it, but I'll tell you.
Oh, shit.
Talk about the whippadoozle. But that's what this is supposed to be about. And that's what we're trying to bring to the forefront. We're not trying to bullshit people. We're just trying to have real tattooer talk and just make it relevant. You're doing fine. But I will say it is 9 o'clock. So it's been 45 minutes of talk, which is perfect. Okay. So if there are, Rich, I don't know, because it's on your side. If you want to scroll through and see if there's questions or if anybody asked you anything, now's the time where we want to throw it to the audience to
if
see what's going on.
Anybody's got any questions, you know, spit them out. But let's see what questions we got. We've got a lot of people saying what's up.
Just a lot of haze. People like your fucking hat.
My hat?
Yeah, it says, I'm feeling the black Mets cap. Is it black?
No, it's navy blue.
Yeah, it's blue. They would never make a black Mets cap. That would never happen.
Somebody wants to know if you have books to sell, Mike.
I don't.
Okay.
Gordon's the guy to talk to for the books. Mr. Rath.
Yeah, Mr. Rath's in the other room right now.
Yeah, Gordon's in the... Oh, shit. Are we going to...
Eating pizza. He was crushing tattoos all day.
We might do double episodes here.
Somebody said, one time I saw Mike draw a coffee cup and a pepper on someone's arm when I was a lot younger. It looked great, traditional, still think about it a lot when drawing stuff. I guess that's, you know, talking about like, that's Kyle he was out there by you too. I guess that's really talking about like the people that draw, you can draw anything to be traditional, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if anybody was really asking any specific questions. They were just like kind of, you know, yapping in on.
I see one question here from Pat Sheridan about what years did Paul Rogers tattoo in New Jersey? I think he came up to the Pirates in Newark with Huck in '61, and then I think he worked with Sale Ready and Esther '61 to '64. Then he opened his own shop in Jacksonville, Florida, for a couple of years and came back up until I think '75.
That's amazing that you know the dates like that. That's outstanding.
Mike Schweigert knows all.
And
that's that's great.
If you got that's to me that's a big part of Jersey history. Like, you know, not to just Sale Readies in general to me, but
Crooks is in here saying I'm the mayor of Queens. Crooks, big shout out to Crooks. Me and him go out every Friday night now. That's our new vibe. And I'm just looking to see for questions.
While you're looking, I got a quick question. How are you guys operating with COVID? Do you have the doors open or locked? Are you taking
Our
walk-ins?
door is locked at this point. We're working. We're thinking we're going to open it up pretty soon. We pretty much just we can't do walk-ins. We do same day appointments when we can. You know, masks, all that kind of stuff. You know, no problem with that. That's pretty much how
We just opened the door. We just opened the door last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we've basically completely did construction to redesign like the waiting room so it's safe.
Mm-hmm.
You guys just got weed legalized.
Yeah. Yeah, I think 2 days ago.
Damn. Doors open, vaccines, weed. I'm moving back to New York.
I'm through, bro. So here's some questions. They're starting to go. Tattoo flash book that is a must-have. Let's all answer that question. And the one that my man Mike the Spike put out is a must-have, and that's the Coleman book.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good one to have. I mean, man, Flash book is a must. I mean, Flash in the past, if you can get it, is a good one. That's a little tiny one. Oh man, it's just crazy because there's so many now. I mean, all those Jerry books to me are essential. Even though people kind of think that Jerry's a little played out or whatever, it's still, those designs are fucking amazing.
It's perfect.
You know?
Yeah, you gotta put it down for a little while and then go back to it and you're like, oh shit.
Oh yeah.
But that motherfucker, for people who buy it, he purposefully put mistakes in those fucking line drawings. You gotta double check those things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot of dicks in there too.
Just a heads up.
I mean, that Jones.
I
forget who put out that one book of the Jonesy Flash. It's like the black and white sheets. I'm trying to think who put that out.
The Tattoo Archive put the Jonesy sheet out.
Okay. But I mean, there's so many freaking Flash books anymore. Who put who put out that Sony book recently?
Knuckles.
I haven't got that yet. That's an.
I just saw some pictures on Facebook. It looks crazy.
Sharky, what's your go-to Flash book?
What's that?
So I'm saying, what's Sharky's go-to Flash book?
I love that Burt Crack book that they put out. It was revised. I think that's what it was called.
That was a good one.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
I fucking love that book. I love the good book. I know that is controversial because that book has 1,000 designs in it, and in the front it's like, do not use these designs.
That's silly.
But for traveling, if you like to be on the road, that's the book to have. It's got like travel convention. And I love the BJ Betts, like that second volume lettering book. I use that for everything.
And it's not a book, but I think my favorite set of Flash is the pinking sheer bordered Sail Ready set.
Yes.
Just amazing. That set of Flash is probably my favorite set of Flash. Anybody who's watching this, if you have any of those sheets, the originals, I want to talk to you because I need them.
Give it up. You hear that, guys? You can make a business deal tonight. See, this show is wheeling and dealing.
I think Rob Freund got the Chest Eagle one.
He does.
Yeah, he did not part with it.
No,
do you have a crazy Rob Freud story? That'd be a great way to end.
There's too many crazy Rob Freud stories. That guy's a lunatic. Me and Mike Schweigert spent a fucking day trapped in a car with him. It was an insane day.
Where were you going?
Hucks.
Oh, that's when you got. All right, you know what? Let's end it that way. That's a really good. Let's talk about the story when you guys went up to Spalding. No.
No.
No. Oh, shit. Okay, well, we'll save
Someday
that
maybe they'll
for the
release.
back.
They might
Let's
we gotta get the surveillance video from Spalding Rogers to
no.
Yeah. Let's
Fair.
This is a good question because this is a good question right here from Pasta Fazul, who also has a good name. Let's use this question as the last question because we could all answer this because we're all big in painting. What do you like better, watercolor or colored pencil?
Me personally, when I'm doing Flash, I prefer pencils.
Watercolor, all the way. Arches.
Sharpies.
Yeah. I mean, like Coleman.
I'm fucking ratchet, and I don't give a fuck. I use Sharpies.
Fuck. I love it. But Sharpies on what? Like Sharpies on fucking printer paper?
Type of
Like,
paper.
Sharpies on what?
Computer paper. I don't give a fuck.
Oh, yeah.
It costs 32 cents for my whole sheet of flash.
Folks,
I
Rich
told
Fry
you
is
my-
giving out
how I would
dangerous
do-
advice.
I think I told you, Rich, on my old flash, I would do the line drawings on trace of paper, then take them to the printing place and get them done on cardstock. And I get like 4 or 5 copies. So that way, if I fucked it up, I just throw it away and start over.
That's brilliant.
But I also had a perfect, the perfect line drawing to match the sheet. And I would either color pencil or paint on that.
I have those sheets. Those sheets are going to be up in this archive. Those sheets that are done like that. And it's fucked up with the Sharpies too because they bleed over time.
Oh yeah, that's all
Whereas
marker.
mine,
It's
they look fucking
marker.
cool
And
as
I
shit.
think I did the black with paint, and then the rest is markers.
This information is startling and jarring.
I mean, I got Coleman flash that was colored with crayons.
Fuck it. It's not. See,
all it's there is
my thing is tattoo flash is not art. Tattoo flash is an advertisement for the tattoo I'm going to do on you.
exactly.
That's my vibes. I understand when people want to do it as art. I get it, and that's cool. And I'll do art for art's sake, and I'll do it a little different then. But if something's going on the wall in my shop, it's strictly so somebody gets tattooed on them. Again, I don't give a fuck if it.
This is a strike down the middle for the male and female because I have no problem spending like 3 days painting a flash sheet to put on the wall that no one will get.
Oh, see, I want to do 7 sheets in 40 minutes and just get them on the wall. Just get them out, slop them on. I was always taught like do it. Don't do it that good in the flash because then if
Fuck it up.
the person's an asshole, you could just do it as shitty as you did it on the flash. But if the person is cool, then you like go the extra mile and say, oh, I'm gonna do it even better than I did the flash.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. I love it. I don't think we could have ended on a better note. That was a big secret you let out there. We might have to edit that out later.
There you go.
But you
Editor
know
for
what?
IT.
I love it. Even though I'm a small fish in a big pond and I couldn't host it myself. Thank you for Rich Five.
Everybody follow.
Everybody
Follow Sharky.
Everybody needs to follow Sharky. So
you can change my life today and I can just host it. It's up to you. Either way, we'll just do it this way. But
this is the host. Stop
we
being-
had a fucking blast. I loved this. We're going to do it again in another couple of months for sure with you because I still have more questions. But I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight, hanging in there, watching. Tell your fucking friends, tell your grandma, tell your dog, tell everybody to watch this. Working
Every
title,
Monday.
On the Shoulders of Giants. Maybe later it'll be Welcome to the Back Room.
I like Welcome to the Back Room. But yes, it's next Monday we're going again.
Next Monday we're going again, and I'll spill the beans right now. We're going to do it with Jackie Gresham, baby.
Oh,
Boom.
hell yeah.
Make sure
That's
you're here.
Boom.
Be here.
I love you both.
Love you
Love
guys.
you guys. Thank you.
Good night.
Night.
Bye-bye.